Well, it's been taxing work, but I really am excited to upload my video ranking every Taylor Swift song. Sure, when she releases new music, my list will become obsolete, but as we're only a year past Lover, judging by the release schedule she's maintained throughout her entire career, we're most likely also a year out from any new music. In fact, I consider this the ideal time after being able to sit on her newest album for so long and still rest easy knowing my video will maintain relevance for some time.
3 days later.
It's been a long time coming, but it sure does feel good to have completed the script for my folklore ranking video. I'm sure to have a blast filming it this weekend, and my audience will be so pleased to be aware of my up-to-date list.
The next day.
So, Taylor Swift has now released 2 whole surprise albums just to spite me. That, or I manifested 2 whole surprise albums out of Taylor Swift. Either way, it was most definitely all for me. It would seem that way, based on some of what I said in my original video. I would like to see Taylor collaborate with more indie bands like the Civil War. I think it's probably just the most hipstery Taylor's ever gotten. Now I wish I had talked at length about wanting her to put out something folkish, because when I say that this is what I've always wanted from her, I'm not exaggerating. So I just want it on record now that I'd like her to try something alt-punk pop-ish. Think Avril Lavigne, Ashley Simpson's black hair phase. If that sounds crazy to you, you need to watch the 1989 tour version of I Knew You Were Trouble and the AMA's version of I Did Something Bad. See the vision. Anyway, the way I've decided to remedy the fact that I completed a script about folklore the day before the announcement of Evermore is by going ahead with it and just adding a reaction to Evermore at the end. So this is a video about folklore, and then later I'm gonna come in and react to Evermore. I'll probably do an in-depth video like this with folklore now for it later, but I need some sitting time with it. I still don't feel like I've had enough sitting time with folklore. I mean, I just barely came to terms with the fact that it dethroned Red as my #1. That's not to mention the Long Pond Studio versions, which I'm just nowhere near used to yet. And really, the whole list stands to be compromised when the re-recordings drop, not that it wasn't already. Spoiler alert, I've made some major edits to the original ranking since 4 months ago. Let's go over that before we get into folklore. If you recall, my original ranking featured 5 tiers. No, I Don't Like You, I Forgot That You Existed, The Song in the Car I Keep Singing, I Love You Because You Have Given Me No Choice, and Oh My, What a Marvelous Tune. The most noteworthy change I've made is adding a 6th tier. It's not really touched the top or bottom 2 tiers because all I did was split The Car I Keep Singing down the middle. I felt like I needed an upper middle and a lower middle. So let's just go over all of the tiers now to remind you what they mean to me and explore how they've changed. No, I Don't Like You is still composed of all of her songs that I actively disliked. It is still not very populous and nothing has been added or removed, but Change and I Knew You Were Trouble have done a little redemption tour. Past this point though, I can't really point out individually when songs have moved up or down a couple points because I kind of shuffled the whole bag around, but I'm gonna show you screenshots of the before and afters so you can see. I kicked the whole top percentile out of I Forgot That You Existed because I liked them too much, and I want this tier to really be able to be described as my skips. Technically, I would also skip the songs I actively dislike as well, but I think the connotation of calling something a skip is more like I don't have time for it. Say you're driving and there's a disparity between the album's runtime and your travel time, so which songs are you sacrificing? These are my sacrificial lambs. I don't typically listen to them unless I have her whole discography on shuffle and I'm otherwise distracted. A lot of them are here because I think they're underproduced, others just aren't my thing. Now, I decided to let the lower middle tier keep its original name, except I extended it so it's presently known as The Car I Keep Singing. The Car I Keep Singing, the song in the car I keep singing, don't know why I do. It's more fitting that way because I would consider these my conditional skips. There's something that I find either forgettable or annoying about all of these songs, but I can't resist them when they catch me at the right time. It's all about the difference between hearing Shake It Off in the background of a department store or on the dance floor, you know? The upper middle tier, on the other hand, has stolen the second tier's name because I gave my new title to the top tier. So we're working with I Love You Because You Have Given Me No Choice. These are songs I love and respect, songs I have fun memories with, but that I wouldn't consider my personal standouts. Our second to first tier is now called Oh My, What a Marvelous Tune. And aren't they? These are my standouts. I love and adore them all. The top tier is short for exclusivity purposes, but in theory, all of these could be there. The highest and most coveted tier is now titled Asking God If He Could Play It Again. These are my absolute favorites. These are my will to live and survive. But I'm sure that you can see a change has been made. Quite a noteworthy one. I dethroned All Too Well for New Year's Day. What happened was that I was considering ranking something from Folklore above All Too Well, and I realized that I was cool with doing that, but not ranking it above New Year's Day. So this is just how the cookie crumbled. I think All Too Well is like this objective masterpiece, but if we're talking personally, I'm realizing that New Year's Day is my one and only, you know? So there. Anyway, now that I've realized this list will never be complete, because even if Taylor suddenly stopped releasing music, please do not, I would be revising it forever. I have decided to make it a Spotify playlist so that you guys can keep up with how I'm changing things over time. I guess it could also work as a whole discography playlist. It just discludes covers and live versions from that one album she didn't approve. I feel bad because one of you already made a playlist using my original video. Hopefully people have gotten a lot of use out of that one, but I ultimately have to have control over it for it to be like updated. You know, I haven't made it on Apple Music yet, but I'll probably get comments about it. I'll probably do it, and the links will be in the pinned comment. Can I talk about Folklore now? This is my vinyl. I was waiting for it to make this video, and it took 5 months, so here we are. Fun fact, I pre-ordered this before I listened to the album, which was really like kind of an accomplishment considering it came out 10 hours after its announcement. And during those hours I kind of regretted it because there's different editions of the vinyl that are named after lyrics from the songs, and I was like, what if I chose one that has lyrics from a song that isn't my favorite? But I believe that this choice is proof of fate because I chose one that's titled after lyrics from my favorite song. I hope that doesn't spoil the plot. If you know what edition this is by looking at the pictures, then I guess you deserve the plot spoiled because congratulations, I wouldn't have the time. Long story short, this is her most sonically cohesive album, next to 1989, I suppose, but it's definitely remarkably well suited to my tastes. Personally, I am obsessed with it, and I have been since the second I heard it. I haven't stopped tweeting about it all this time later. I was still tweeting about Folklore, and now we have to deal with Evermore. Fun fact, I went on a little trip the day this album dropped, so I got to acquaint myself with it in my favorite place on earth, which is my family's lake house. It's like an extended family thing. I'm not rich. We don't have to get into it. But it was the perfect place. I got to listen to it the first few times sitting on cabin porch swings and walking along the beach and exploring abandoned sheds. I'm telling you this to make you jealous. Anyway, it was really hard to rank it because it's kind of separate from the rest of her stuff, which isn't to say it's that different. I think that news outlets have really overstated how different this is from what she's done before. We in the Swifterhood know that on every pop album there are deep cuts. We have little mellow, lyrically devastating tracks on all of them. You've got your cleans, you've got your New Year's days. They've been out here. And that's not even to mention the country days. Honestly, this is an adult's debut, and I stand by that. I played this in the car with my mom, and she was like, this sounds like her old stuff. And I was like, right? And then she was like, everybody on Facebook was saying that it was so different, and I thought it would be weird. I also made a whole playlist for my dad that follows every folklore track with one or two of her previous tracks that remind me of it. That's another fun thing to come out of this album. I have converted my father into Swiftyism. What I'm referring to when I say it feels separate are the differences in the way that this one was released and the way that it's existed with me. You know, previously we've been exposed to the idea of an album long before it happens. We get singles that exist for a long time before we get to hear the rest of it, and it's just, this one's just kind of its own thing. Like, it was hard to separate these songs and put them in a list with everything else. It's like it's folklore, but I did it. Should we get into that? Just let me show you this first. This was my first impressions ranking of it, which I made while I was listening to it for the first time. I hadn't even listened to any song twice when I made this. I just want you to see how much things have and haven't changed since then, so we'll come back to this. First things first, no songs wound up in the bottom 2 tiers. Hooray! I know a lot of people would consider my lowest ranked song a skip, but I'd consider it more like a conditional skip, which is how it ended up in the song in the car I keep singing, don't know why I do.
Only 20 minutes to sleep, but you dream of some epiphany.
So this is by far the biggest difference between my initial ranking and my updated one. I mean, to go from third to last. But I want you to know I'm not bandwagoning. I mean, I'm sure not everybody dislikes this song, but it's definitely the kid everyone picks on in my Twitter circles, but that's not what's demoted it. I demoted it because I think, unlike every other song on Folklore, it really needs to catch you at the right time. When I was listening to this album for the first time, I didn't know any song well enough to sing along to it, so it was easy for Epiphany's really beautiful instrumentals to stand out. Now though, I can sing along to every lyric from every song, and this one is the least fun to do that to because of its pace. It's better for ambience, and not the sort of ambience where you're putting it on in the background of doing something else. You need to listen to it for the sake of listening to it. It's a quiet and understated track that sometimes it feels like you have to get through on your way to bed. As far as concepts go, I really do like the idea and the parallels. It's not necessarily relatable because I've never been a soldier or a nurse and have never seen somebody die in any other context. My favorite lyric would be "Some things you just can't speak about, duh." It really does feel like the whole song exists for that lyric sometimes. It's like the unifying sentiment shared between them, and one that you can listen and make about your own thing. Our next 5 tracks lie within I Love You Because You Have Given Me No Choice.
Your faithless love's the only hoax I believe in.
There was a brief period in time when I thought that I would rank Hoax higher than this because it really goes hard near the end, but I just couldn't justify placing it above anything else. Keep in mind how highly this is ranked in the grand scheme of Taylor's discography for something that is my second least favorite on this album. There's so much about Hoax that I adore. The bridge is my favorite part. All of my favorite lyrics are from the bridge. I have a lot of fun with, you know, I left a part of me back in New York. You knew the hero died, so what's the movie for? You knew the password, so I let you in the door. You knew you won, so what's the point of keeping score? The Long Pond Studio movie is actually what helped me realize why I have a disconnect with this song. I'm glad that Taylor feels comfortable writing a song that's about more than one thing, but it is my inability to comprehend it properly that kind of scrambles it for me.
And there's nothing like a mad woman. What a shame she went mad.
Despite remaining in the exact same position that it was in my initial ranking, I would still say that Mad Woman has grown on me immensely. Maybe that's because I ranked it knowing that it would grow on me. I could tell it was going to be a grower because it has such beautiful lyrics, but It sounds a little bit unpleasant and foreboding. I knew I would have to get used to that, but it works in its favor, it does. I think this is a much more empowering feminist track than The Man. It's a lot more complex. The sound of it did still prevent it from rising higher in the ranks, but I wouldn't change it either. My favorite lyrics are those which I interpret to be about women's role in misogyny. Women like hunting witches too, doing your dirtiest work for you. She should be mad, should be scathing like me, but no one likes a mad woman. I went on a Twitter rant about this a while ago. I think it's easy to despise misogynistic women, but we do have to acknowledge that they're also victims of it. I think Mad Woman does a good job stating that while it can seem more sinister for a woman to witch hunt per se, it's also more sad because ultimately they're trying to protect themselves from the same fate they're perpetuating on others. That's just my take, but still that's not actually that much of the song. I still enjoy the meaning of the rest though, you know, to be backed into corners, made to feel crazy. I strongly believe that it's about Scooter Braun, but I didn't want to like waste time talking about him.
But it would have been fun if you would have been the one.
The One is a good time, but I have thought on occasion it's a little overrated. It's the poppiest sounding in my opinion, which makes it a good transition from Lover to Folklore. It reminds me of False God and I Think He Knows from Lover. Understand that when I say it's overrated, it doesn't have to be an insult. If it were sentient, I would tell it to take it as a compliment because I'm happy that so many people like it. I'm happy for you if you like it. I mean, I like it too. I mean, just like more than me if you like it more than me. Remember the grand scheme of the list. We're in I Love You Because You Have Given Me No Choice. I just find that while it often ranks really highly for other people, it's more middling for me. It was my most listened to song of 2020 though, so what do I know? By the way, I was in the top 0.01% of Taylor's listeners, so take me off the Tay Voodoo hit list and invite me to a secret session, please. I like that The One is a peaceful, reminiscent breakup song. Unlike the last three, I don't think there's a melodically uncomfortable moment on The One, so it's really fun and easy to sing along to. I think it's a really easy song to like. My favorite lyrics would include the opening, I'm doing good, I'm on some new that just sparks joy for me. And also, if you never bleed, you're never gonna grow. In my defense, I have none for never leaving well enough alone, for digging up the grave another time.
All along there was some invisible string.
Invisible String is another one that fell off a little bit in the ranks, but it's absolutely not its fault. What happened was that all the songs below it grew on me and took on new emotional meanings for me, and it stayed the peaceful, happy, idealistic romance that it is. I love it, I do. Its placement is nothing more than a byproduct of my liking of other songs more than it. I like to think of Invisible String as my forgettable fave. That's not to say forgettable in the grand scheme of things, but when I sit down to listen to Folklore, I've got August and Illicit Affairs and Betty on my mind. I'm not thinking about Invisible String until it comes to me, and it reminds me that I enjoy it. My initial thought when I heard it was that it would be the ultimate Stydia song. For the uninitiated, Stydia is my favorite ship. They're from Teen Wolf, and there's this fan theory that the reason they fiddle with a red yarn together in season 3 is to reference the East Asian legend of the Red String of Fate, which is essentially a legend that says there's a invisible red string tying you to your soulmate, so you can see where I made the connection. Over time, though, I've realized that the lyrics aren't applicable to Stydia, and really they're mostly applicable to Taylor. Folklore is Taylor's most fictional album by far, despite sometimes retreating into herself, but this song is the one that I think is most, like, explicitly her. I'm able to relate to it in the abstract, what if I was always meant to be here sense, but not like, you know, like I haven't sent any of my ex's babies presents. I say any of my exes like I have one. My standout lyric on this one would be hell was the journey, but it brought me heaven.
You were my town, now I'm in exile, seeing you out.
Oh, exile, how I wish I loved you more than I do. Not that I don't. This one's demotion is pretty much a result of me previously expecting to like it so much that I forced myself to. The thing is, I'm the world's #1 The Last Time fan, and I'm also pretty big on Bon Iver, specifically For Emma Forever Ago, as basic as that is. I just feel like I decided it would be in my top 5 before I ever heard it, and I've been trying to walk that back since, but now I'm content loving it the way I do, because I do. And lucky for me, I think Evermore is doing what it couldn't. Anyway, I think the bridge and the outro are really the highlights here. The way the point of views clash is really something. As such, my favorite lyrics are, "You never gave a warning sign, I gave so many signs." We're now on to Oh My, What a Marvelous Tune, which features 8 of our songs.
I just wanted you to know that this is me trying.
You want to hear something crazy? For a long time, this was going to be last. When I wanted to rank Hoax higher, I was going to leave This Is Me Trying in the dust. I think this was my least favorite for a while. But over time, it's really just breathed new life in me, especially since the Long Pond studio version came out. What happened to me when it came to This Is Me Trying and Mirrorball's Long Pond studio versions is amazing. Because I've always felt like I've loved these songs more in theory than in practice. I've loved their lyrics and their concepts, but sonically they never brought me there. The Long Pond studio versions take me there. I'm not an expert on tempo. I think the difference when it comes to This Is Me Trying is that it's faster. It's just the way I prefer to hear this song's lyrics, which are excellent. This one is a really hard one to name my favorite lyrics for, actually, because there are so many, including but not limited to. I have a lot of regrets about that. Both times. Could have followed my fears all the way down. I got wasted like all my potential. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere.
I'm a mirror ball.
Speaking of Mirrorball, this is one that I always related to the lyrics for, but found sonically underwhelming. The levity of the Long Pond studio version was something I needed. I'm obsessed with it now. I'm having a whole, second round with Mirrorball right now. My favorite lyric is the titular line, "I'm a Mirrorball, I'll show you every version of yourself." Or, "I can change everything about me to fit in." I'm also a big fan of the circus analogy. It's interesting to me that she wrote this as a metaphor for celebrity, knowing it would also be interpreted as being about the performative aspect of everyday sociability. I sort of listen to it as a YouTuber, which sounds kind of lame, but yeah, it really speaks to a lot of the pressures I feel, but let's not get into that.
And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed.
I think Cardigan has been done dirty by some of you. Yeah, it's nominated for a Grammy or 2, but I've seen it called a skip a number of times. And I think I know why. I think it's because of the verses. The verses are just lists of things. Sequin smile, black lipstick, sensual politics. None of this even really creates an intense visual in my mind. I can see how some people might find them pretentiously pointless, but may I raise you? The second half of the song. Cardigan's second half pops off hard. I'll go ahead and insert the entire last chorus and bridge as my favorite lyric for this one. "Sacrifices will not be made on this day. Thank you, Betty."
There goes the last great American dynasty.
I made a sim named Rebecca Harkness. I made her a club called Pack. I married her to a rich man, and they built a mansion in Brindleton Bay. I don't know if that's disrespectful because she was a real lady, but I did it. I thought the novelty of the last great American dynasty would wear off over time, but I was wrong. It was so story-oriented that I just thought it wouldn't maintain attention, but here it is, still one of my favorites. Can I say that when it is still in the very middle of my ranking? But you see how the middle of Folklore's ranking is in the top 40 of a 150 song ranking? It's all about perspective. I was just tweeting the other day about how I thought this song could fit into my imagined folklore jukebox musical. Augustine does a school presentation about Rebecca Harkness, or the whole gang is exploring around Holiday House, and then Augustine tells the tale. I got the last idea from someone else. Anyway, this is a good one. I like that it's secretly about Taylor the whole time. It's hard to pick a favorite lyric because it's less poetic and way more story narrative oriented. I'll choose "There Goes the Most Shameless Woman This Town Has Ever Seen" because theoretically I'd like that tattooed.
Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet.
So I strongly believe that this song is about Scott Borchetta, but some people on TikTok talk about it being a breakup song all the time. At least those are the people on my For You page. I guess for us non-Taylor Swift people, it's nice to apply meaning to the song that isn't about a stolen masters, because we don't have those. But I don't tend to apply my life to my interpretation of this song at all. Not that you can't. I guess I just haven't been like betrayed before, so I prefer the literal interpretation. I imagine a funeral. I imagine the betrayer at the funeral and the ghost of the dead person at the funeral, mad that the betrayer's at the funeral. My favorite lyrics are basically the whole chorus. Sonically, the bridge is where it's at, but the chorus is where the lyrics are at. The whole song is good in both respects, though.
And that's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings and...
So this one did fall from number 2, but that's only because I've grown to like other songs more than it, not because I've stopped liking it as much. If it has any flaw, it's that I wish it was longer. I want to spend more time with it. And this one comes with quite a few interpretations. First of all, some people don't think it's about cheating. They think it's about more of a hush-hush romance like Taylor has written about her and Joe having before. I think that this doesn't account for the anger in the bridge. That feels very specifically scorned mistress to me. So if it is about cheating, then is it a part of the Augustine, Betty, James canon? I used to think maybe, but I don't think so. We can draw the parallels, but I think it's too adult. And I don't necessarily think James cheated on Betty, but we'll get to that when we get to Betty. I just see this as a mostly unrelated song about cheating. And boy, does it romanticize it. I like to picture the narrator as being Taylor in the Babe video. It's an absolutely beautiful song, and I think we can all agree that the best lyrics are found in the bridge.
Betty, I'm here on your doorstep and I planned it out for weeks now.
Speaking of Betty, we've made it to the top 5, and she's remained in the same position. When I initially listened to this song, I did think it was sapphic because I just totally missed the James lyric, but to be clear, that interpretation was always just about the song and not Taylor's sexuality herself. Now I know that James is canonically a man. However, I encourage people to listen to it however they want, because welcome to art. With that out of the way, this is clearly a top tier song. I don't think anybody doesn't have this in their top 5 at least. It's just a swell time. It definitely reminds me of Mary's song, but more refined, and there are harmonicas involved, which is very noteworthy and important. I would like to have a little James defense tour though. I think it's a little overstated how bad of a guy he is. The thing is, it depends on what you think went down, because Betty's take is very sad, and so it makes you think that this is an epic betrayal, but all of the specifics we get of the story lead me to believe that they were non-exclusively dating on the precipice of exclusively dating. When he saw her dance with another guy, sort of got the wrong idea, had himself a summer fling, rumors spread about the summer fling, and so they kind of just ghosted each other, and that was real sad for them. Does this mean Betty's the villain? No, it means they're 17. Give them a break. I'm more offended about what he did to Augustine, to be fair. At least he apologized to Betty. Anyway, the best part of this song is absolutely the outro, like the very, very end. It's so fun the whole time, and then it just like kicks off right to close you out. I appreciate it so much. Justice for Inez. Inez gets Mirrorball in the imagined folklore jukebox musical.
I hit my peak at 7 feet.
So this one climbed the ranks for me a bit, which is weird because I can't remember why I put it so low. It must have grown on me really fast, because I feel like since this album's been out, it's been ranked high in my mind. Like, it's been up there. This is Nostalgia as a song. I love it dearly because I reminisce about childhood all the time. I think I had a good one. There were tons of kids in my neighborhood. My parents weren't strict. We would run around outside all day, all the time, playing make-believe and whatever. No other song has ever captured the feeling of my childhood like this one. I like that the lyrics only get specific sometimes, which is weird for me, because we're dealing with more vague feelings here. I want to be able to apply myself into it, like outside of things like, you know, Utah's under me instead of Pennsylvania. And I really like what she said about it in the Long Pond Studio movie, the idea that something is lost when you mature, either like blissful ignorance or the right to unchecked temper. It reminded me, and this is so specific, of that tween phase when you weren't allowed to cry anymore when the piñata broke before it was your turn. I could go on and on about this song and just how relatable I find it. My favorite lyrics are, I think your house is haunted, your dad is always mad, and that must be why. The top 3 songs on Folklore are in the top tier, asking God if he could play it again.
Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die.
I think this song is the most pretentious, romantic way to say I was born in the wrong generation. She really said, man, it sucks that people are mean on Twitter. Want to go to the Windermere Peaks where all the poets went to die and cry until wisteria grows over our bare feet? I love her for it. Thank you, Taylor. Sincerely me. I get that this one has a really interesting origin about real-life poets and their real-life residents, especially William Wordsworth, but I'm not too concerned with what's smart about it. I'm merely concerned with the way it makes me feel. I genuinely can't pick a favorite lyric here. I love every word from start to finish.
Would it be enough if I could never give you peace?
This was a huge sleeper hit for me. I didn't pay it much attention, but it eventually dawned on me that it was perfect and a genius. It's got that Archer dancing with our hands tied lover fishbowl metaphor that Taylor's been perfecting for a while now. This is her best go at it so far, by far, because I love that it's so easy to interpret outside of celebrity. I love Aaron Dessner's take that he talked about in the Long Pond Studio movie about depression. I just think it's such a beautiful sentiment to ask in earnest if somebody's willing to love you despite what might be hard about it. My favorite lyrics are, your integrity makes me feel small, you paint dreamscapes on the wall, I talk shit with my friends, it's like I'm wasting your honor.
But I can see it's lost in the memory, August slipped away to a moment in time.
Hello, fellow August heads and rushies. I don't know how to explain it, but the second I heard August, it was my favorite and it did not falter once. It's fun to think about in the context of the love triangle, but it exists so far outside of that for me. The feeling it gives me is tangible, like levitating. It's similar to Seven in that I feel like it's nostalgia, the song, except this nostalgia is for a specific hopeful period of time as opposed to childhood. Generally, there are specificities to the narrative, but for me, it's about periods in my life. It's about the summer after high school. It's about this past summer because I listened to August so much at my family's cabin that I have really strong musical associations with walking along the beach listening to it. Let's not discount the actual plot though, because there is something vindicating about the other woman's perspective. I mean, Augustine was so into James. She was canceling her plans to meet him behind the mall. By the way, it's the Meet Me Behind the Mall edition. Congrats if you guessed it was August. I guess, if you follow me on Twitter, it's so you know my favorite song is August. So I guess for the exclusive, you gotta follow me on Twitter. As always, the best lyrics are the whole song. But my standouts here are Meet Me Behind the Mall, August slipped away like a bottle of wine, to live for the hope of it all. Okay. That's it. So I'm just gonna cut to myself reacting to Evermore now. While I do it, I create a first impressions ranking like the one that I was comparing this ranking to here, but you've seen how much that changed, so just take it with the smallest grain of salt. I actually, because I did it yesterday, I filmed that reaction, I already disagree with it, like heavily, like a lot. I'll tell you right now, the song I put last, oh, it deserves vindication. I'm so sorry about it. What happened was, it happens pretty early on, and so I forgot about it. I didn't remember how much I liked it, and we're still getting used to things. We're still getting used to it. Okay, you'll see me in a minute. Hello, it is 10:18 Mountain Time, meaning Evermore dropped 18 minutes ago, and I'm 18 minutes late to listen to it because I was trying to figure out how to connect my earphones to my computer. So I figured it out, and now we can react to it. I'm going to add every song into a first impressions ranking as we go, which will be very subject to change, and I'm going to look at the lyrics also while I listen to every song. First up, we have Willow.
The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow.
I need to remember to say stuff, but
Take my hand, read my plans. That's my man.
it's the way I could see That's My Man Coming, like exactly like that. This one is the one that has a music video out right now, which I'm not watching because I thought that would be more complicated. I really love this chorus. I can't wait till I know the words so I can sing this. The lyrics are wrong. I'm genius right now. Oh, I just barely learned some appreciation for the more that you say, the less that I know. The lyrics are wrong. I'm in the wrong part of the song. Well, I'll stop looking. I love this song. I really love the hook, like the chorus. I'd say I prefer this as an opener to the one so far. No, the lyrics are wrong. Every bait and switch is a work of art, but this says every switch and bit was a work of art. It's gonna automatically play the next one. No, not yet. Thoughts on Willow so far? That's the cutest chorus ever. I am very into it, and right now, as it is the only song I've heard, it gets to be ranked number 1. What's it called again? Oh yes, Willow. I guess automatically onto Champagne Problems. What if I don't know how to spell champagne is what I want to know. Champagne. Champagne Problems. Oh, it didn't play. Does this one have a silent intro? Something's gone wrong. I can't hear anything. It says can't play current song. Wait. Excuse me? Is it the Bluetooth? Have we been compromised? Champagne Problems. Ah! It started at the It started later in the song because it was trying to play there later. Anyway, okay. Skip back to 0. Play. It's piano. I love piano. Oh, I bet I could play this. It's like very much like this.
Because I dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing.
These choruses.
On the land in champagne problems. Your mom's ring in your pocket, my picture in your wallet. Your heart was glass, I dropped it. Champagne problems.
Okay. I'm enjoying this sonically a lot, but I'm trying to like understand the meaning here. I can't wait till I can sing these. I feel like this chorus keeps shocking me. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, wait. So is this?
I never was ready, so I watch you go.
I love this. I love this. I love this.
Know the answer to someone's on their knees and asked you. She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's in the head. They said, but you'll find.
Am I listening to a clean version? Because this says the F word and it didn't say the F word.
Mom's ring in your pocket, her picture in your wallet.
Hold the phone. I need to make sure I'm not listening to a clean version because that one, I'm confused. Okay, yeah. See, there's 2 versions of Evermore right now. How do I know which one is the clean one? Oh my gosh. It's because this one says explicit a bunch of times. I can't believe I was listening to a clean version. I'm obsessed with that. I think it's definitely outranking Willow right now. Sorry, Willow. You're still a fun pal of mine. But I do want to, I'm going to take a closer look at the lyrics right now because I'm not comprehending. We need a second. I need a second. Who is this one written by? Oh, it's written by Joe Alwyn and Taylor Swift. He's not even going by William Bowery anymore. Dropped your hand while dancing. See, but mom's ring in your pocket. Picture in your wallet. Heart was glass. So it's like, is it like a turned down proposal? Oh, no crowd of friends applauded. Your hometown skeptics called it. You had a speech, you're speechless. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. A rejected proposal. No, am I wrong? I'm gonna be so embarrassed if I'm wrong. Okay, yeah, she would have made such a lovely bride. Okay. It's a rejected proposal. And the champagne, like, people put rings in champagne a lot. It's making sense. Gold Rush. That's interesting. Is it gonna be like historical? Because Gold Rush was it? Gold Rushes are historical. Anyway, I haven't heard it yet, but the first lyrics are gleaming, twinkling, eyes like sinking. Ooh, ooh, excited. This is exciting. I'm feeling very Fantasia right now.
Like a gold rush, gold rush. I don't
This is fun.
in my face in a red flush. Wants you. Everybody wonders what it would be like to love you. Walk past, quick brush. I don't
I'm
like
obsessed.
motion, double vision in rose blush.
I'm obsessed.
Plastic falling. I
Okay, so Gold Rush is like a metaphor for somebody.
don't understand, be like
Hold on, hold the thought.
beautiful. With your hair falling into place like dominoes.
Oh, it's so pretty. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it.
Wooden floors with my Eagles t-shirt hanging from the door. At dinner parties, I'll call you out on your contrarian shit. In the coastal town we wandered round, had never seen a love as pure as it. And then it fades into the gray of my days. I don't like a gold rush, gold rush. I don't like anticipating my face. in
I
a
love
red
this.
flush. That's what it would be like to love you.
Oh my gosh. I feel like this is, oh my. This feels very Stay Beautiful, like Corey's eyes are like the jungle, his smile's like the radio. This is folklore. I missed it. I'm obsessed. I love it, I love it, I love it. I don't know what to do with myself. I've been on a journey. A journey. Okay, so my interpretation thus far is that Gold Rush is a metaphor for like someone who's highly sought after, like, you know, gold during a gold rush. But like it runs out fast. Yeah. Like it gives me enchanted vibes. It gives me Stay Beautiful vibes, but I'm missing like the sort of bitter element that this one has. Like I'm holding myself back from falling for this because I think it actually will be kind of like empty, or it will run out quick like a gold rush. Ooh, like it's kind of like Red, Maserati, Dead End Street, you know? Ooh, this one's like really fun to compare to other songs. But I also, like, I'm trying to remember how much I loved Champagne Problems because I was kind of up there with Champagne Problems too. But like, am I gonna have a problem when I'm reacting to this and trying to do a first impressions ranking, just putting everything that I've just heard number one? Because it was my favorite. Ooh, it's the Christmas one now, I assume. 'Tis the damn season. Okay, wait, don't look at the lyrics yet, Julia. Have some self-control.
So we could call it even. You could call me babe for the weekend. 'Tis the
They
damn
all get so
season.
fun during the chorus.
Stay home.
It's not very Christmassy, but I think it's like, it's feeling very Hallmark to me. The plot here, I changed it up a bit. Hometown, go back to LA. It feels very Hallmark, like she moved away, she turned down the person she was with in high school, but now she like kind of regrets it. I think my favorite part of this is Babe for the Weekend. I like mud on your truck tires too, it gives me debut vibes. I think that one, like, it got fun during the chorus too, but it was very obviously my least favorite out of all of them that have happened so far. And I'm honestly kind of happy about that because I was worried they were all going to outshine each other and I would never feel like putting something last. This one, it's a pretty easy one to put last. Hopefully it grows on me a little more. I don't dislike it. Number 5, track 5. Tolerate It. This should be good. It sounds like a rewind.
Wait by the door like I'm just a kid.
Oh, that made me feel like a list of fairs.
Use my best colors for your portrait.
It feels very illicit affairs with the colors and the kid.
And watch you tolerate it.
Oh.
If it's all in my head, tell me now. We celebrate it.
Oh.
But you tolerate it. I greet you.
I just made the connection that this could be very Dear John. I don't want to say it's about John Mayer. I don't really like to make assumptions. But you're so much older and wiser. You tolerate me. You don't appreciate me. It's so Dear John. But I think it's one that's lyrics will stand out to me over time. Oh, I really like that part. Drawing hearts in the byline. Okay, I'm liking Gain the Weight of You and then Lose It. I love that. Yeah, this is reminding me of how I felt about something like Mad Woman or This Is Me Trying, where it's like, it doesn't necessarily have the sound for me at the moment, but I will definitely enjoy this more over time. Because once I'm used to the sound, I'll enjoy the sound more. It's when it doesn't have like a very distinct hook that like the first time you're listening to it, it's not going to hit the same as it will later. I think this one, for now, shall go below Willow, above 'Tis the Damn Season. But I do think this one's a grower. Next we have No Body No Crime feat. Haim. We don't know how to say that. And I'm sure lots of people love their music and are now offended by this. I looked at their Spotify earlier. I didn't actually listen to anything, but it did say they were similar to the Aces. I love the Aces. They're from Utah. I've seen them live twice. I have their merch because they opened for somebody a long time ago. I've been aware of them forever. Anyway, just had to flex about my love for the Aces, but I'm sure I would like Haim. I always like it when Taylor collaborates with women because she really, I think it's just been Kobe Calais, the Chicks, and now Haim. Yeah, this definitely seems like what I imagine Haim would sound like.
And it smells like infidelity. She said that ain't my
Is this gonna be Earl Had to Die? Okay. So they're not gonna kill him. Oh, are we getting Gone Girl? Oh no, it's not Gone Girl, it's A Simple Favor. I paused it. I was really into it. They're gonna kill him.
His mistress took out a big life insurance policy.
They're gonna kill him. They're gonna kill him. Okay, so they think the mistress did it, but it was really narrator. See, that's a very much alternate Gone Girl, A Simple Favor. It's like murder, mystery, crime, sure, yeah, but it's that brand. It's Earl Had to Die. This is what we're dealing with here. That's very exciting. I'm so into that concept. I think it is like a little bit like hammy. Like, I don't think of it that way. I totally enjoyed it. But because of that, I think it's going to be third to last for now. I don't remember how much I liked Willow.
But now I'm right down in it. All the years I've given is just we're dividing up.
Is this about divorce?
There'll be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you. Both of these things can be true.
Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this.
Past the blood and bruise. Pointed at my deepest hurt.
Oh, that gave me tears ricochet.
There'll be happiness after
Oh, the pronoun switch. Are those pronouns? Those aren't pronouns. What are me and you? Ooh. I like the falsetto in the middle there.
Honey, when I'm above the trees, I see it for what it is.
It's refreshing, that song. Now this one, I don't know where to put. I feel we've reached a part where it's harder to figure out where they go. I'm gonna put it above No Body No Crime because yeah.
Shine brighter into below, and if
Oh, I like that.
tired of being known for who you know, you always know me, Dorothea.
Trying to guess how long that Dorothea went. That was hard. That was a long Dorothea. That's cute. This is fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this one. There's a lot of instrumentation to this one. My back hurts. Ooh, this comment here says giving very much LGBT. I guess I didn't interpret that as romantic, but we can see it. I might have to reconsider. Okay, I don't know where to rank this one. I feel like I kept comparing it to Betty in my mind, and I don't think it's on the same level as Betty, to be fair. But it was a fun time. It's definitely not beating out Gold Rush or Champagne Problems. Willow is kind of just there now. Like, I don't know what to do about Willow. Because I don't remember it. I don't, but I remember liking it like quite a bit, especially during the chorus. So, okay, we're gonna put it below Happiness right now. That's what seems right. Dorothea, Coney Island. Let's see. Oh, some fans have speculated that this song could be a reject from Taylor's 2017 album. Why? Why? Don't get into fan speculation right now, Julia. Just listen.
Break my soul in two, looking for you, but you're right here. Sitting on a bench in Coney Island, wondering where did my baby go?
Baby
Fast
go.
times,
Those go.
bright lights, the merry-go.
Merry-go. Like the merry-go-round? Baby go merry-go? I like that. That's cute.
The question pounds my head.
It's the new voice. Could this be related somehow to the 'Tis the Damn Christmas, where it's like about your hometown hottie? I think standouts in here for me are the merry-go-rhyme and Colder and Colder, because I like the way Colder and Colder goes. Beneath Tolerated, above 'Tis the Damn Season. Ivy. Ooh.
How's one to know?
It came at me fast.
Grieving for the living.
Grieving for the living.
Oh, goddamn.
I love it, I love it.
And now I'm covered in you.
Ooh. Ooh. Ah.
Oh, goddamn. My pain
I love it.
in the palm of your
Pain fits in the palm of your freezing hand.
Taking
I love songs about cheating. I've realized I need to get a boyfriend so I can cheat on him. It's fun to look at the lyrics because I can guess how it goes. Burn this house to the ground. Ooh, like the home house, like Marriage House. I'm never gonna get over that. Oh goddamn, that's so fun. If people don't want us to cheat, then why are songs about cheating so much better than songs about not cheating? Oh, Bridge. Oh, you started it. Okay, so Ivy, Thrill of My Life. That was fun for me. Although I don't think it beats out Gold Rush or Champagne, whatever. Champagne Problems. The question is Willow, I think. Yeah, okay. I feel like, see, what's happening right now with this initial first impressions ranking is that it's very sonic. Like, I'm very much basing everything off of like how much fun I'm having during the chorus, because that's what's happening. Is like the hook happens and my mind is just like, ooh, chills, this is serotonin, and then it goes first. But I think that like over time, like the lyrics that are more powerful, the storylines that are more powerful will prevail, and we'll see how things shake up. But right now, this is very, very much like the funnest ones are at the top, I think. What's this one called again? Ivy. See, and I thought Ivy would be a name. The idea of Ivy, someone being Ivy and growing all over you. That's cute. So next we have Cowboy Like Me. I tweeted earlier that this is the song I'm claiming, so it better be good. There's a really beautiful background vocal on Cowboy Like Me sung by someone I'm a big fan of. Alright, we have to wait for that. Oh, I like the refrain. Ooh, way forward only if they pay for it. I like the way that doesn't rhyme, but it does. Background vocals, oh, Marcus Mumford. It's a Mumford son. Or is it the main Mumford? I don't know. Yeah, the way she sings forward, that's something. Forward. For bridge. I felt like drawn in right at the start. I'm gonna put it below tolerated. Okay. Next up, we have long story short. It's fun.
It's walking it till your high heels break. And I fell from the pedestal right down the rabbit hole. Long story short, it was a bad time.
I love that.
Long story short, it was the wrong guy.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like these lyrics because they're so like they're cute. They're snappy.
Children gates they once held the keys to. For now I just keep you warm. No more tug of war now. Before you get the chance to swing. And he's passing by, rare as the glimmer of a comet in the sky. Long story short, I survived.
Yeah, like survived your whole life. Oh, like your whole life, long story short, here's all that's happened. And now we're in a relationship. Isn't that cool? I think that's what the meaning is. I like that. It gives me Invisible String vibes. Like, oh well, things have happened. How did like Dorothea and Happiness go? I can't remember. Yeah, I feel it goes above No Body, No Crime. Perhaps below Dorothea. Maybe above Dorothea? Okay. Above Dorothea. We're doing that. I don't know what's going on anymore. We lost the plot. Marjorie, which I was seeing on Twitter, people thought would be about her grandma because that's her grandma's name, like the wife of the grandpa who is inspired Epiphany.
I didn't stay dead. What I didn't stay dead. You're alive.
I bet this one really kicks off in the end. Yeah, I just scrolled down to the bridge to see if it was wordy. It's wordy.
I didn't stay dead. What I
Who's doing the background vocals here?
You're alive in my head.
Oh, Justin Vernon.
In the hallway there, the car ride back and up the stairs. I should have asked you questions. I should have asked you how to be. Asked you to write it down for me.
Oh, this is
Should've kept every
cute.
grocery store receipt, 'cause every
This one could be relatable because I can think about my grandma who's
watched
dead.
as you and how you left them
Oh, that's cute. Because of the music thing, passing them down because she was an opera singer.
But I didn't stay
This one could be a major grower.
alive.
If I'm in the right mood, this one is really gonna hit me. I feel this one at the moment goes above Cowboy Like Me, but it really does feel like a grower. This song is about an ex from a toxic relationship trying to explain why they left or why they did what they did, but the main character of the song doesn't want closure because they think it's tacky. Interesting. That's just somebody's interpretation with one upvote, so we shall ignore it and make our own assumptions. It's like it's giving me 90s Jagged Little Pill. Ooh, okay, we're calming down now. I feel this one's gonna be good.
Yes, I got your letter. Yes, I'm doing better. I know that it's over. I don't need your closure.
Okay, so that interpretation did seem right.
Closure.
Somebody's trying to reach out and they're like, who cares?
Fine with my spite and my tears.
Oh!
and fears and
Aaron Desner tweeted that. I thought that it would be in the Cowboy song.
But I'm just a wrinkle in your new life.
Wrinkle in your new life.
Iron it out so nice.
Staying friends would iron it out so nice. I like the idea of this song a lot. It's like you're trying to make up with me just to appease like your own senses, like to make yourself feel better. That one's a complicated one because I really like the idea of it. It didn't necessarily enrapture me though. Like right away, a lot of these are going to just take time. I feel kind of bad for 'Tis the Damn Season because I kind of have just left it dangling down there. I didn't dislike it. I can't remember. I can't remember how I felt about the songs. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna put it below Marjorie. Like it felt very I Forgot That You Existed, like better. I'm not a huge fan of I Forgot That You Existed. It's like a little bit more sassy and I don't necessarily always have time for sassy songs, you know, but sometimes I do. Scary piano. Maybe I shouldn't rate the side. It looks lengthy on the side, so let me try to see if I get it right.
Gray November.
Oh.
I've been down since July.
Oh, it feels like kind of like a musical.
I replay my stepping stone. Trying to
Oh, I like it.
writing letters.
I like it.
To the fire.
I don't know what it's about yet, but like it's giving me a feeling.
I was catching my breath.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Catching my death. Catching my breath, catching my death. What does it mean? I don't know what it means, but it's a poetic.
Forevermore.
Oh, I like that it's for Evermore.
On the very moment all was lost, sending signals to be double-crossed.
I still don't understand what it's about. I just know that I'm here. I'm here with it. I don't know what to do. This song is making me feel sad. Ooh, ooh. Oh, that's a really fun way for him to come in.
And when I was shipwrecked, I thought of you. In the cracks of light.
What does it mean? I haven't been able to latch on to anything. I love the way it sounds though. Oh. Is it just a song about feelings? I'm gonna read about that song. I need to know. I need to know what it's about. And reconsider the lyrics. Okay. The titular regular edition closing track on Evermore is a meditative piano ballad tracking through its narrator's journey from a seemingly unending period of deep depression and hurt into a place where she spots light at the end of a tunnel. Her lover, just the thought of him, is a lifeline pulling her out of the woods into light. Did I miss when it said out of the woods? Like happiness, Evermore deals strongly with themes of mental health. It was written by Joe, Justin, and Taylor. That's a fun little trio. I think I'm gonna put it under Ivy for now. All right. Wow. I'm done. That's crazy. It's so good, and I need time. I need time to tell you what I really think.